Welcome. So,
Jet lag. It's real.
how's Hong Kong feeling?
It's good. It's good. The jet lag hit me today. It's so good. Food's really good. Everything's good. I love it.
Yep. So we got a lot of questions for you. Let's jump right into it. So, Daryl Dixon became a global icon through like very little dialogue, mostly like presence, loyalty, and silence. When you first stepped into that role, did you imagine the power of quiet constraint?
No. The thing about Daryl is he always speaks the truth. He has no pretension whatsoever. If there's ever a problem, he just fixed the problem. He never said, look at me. He was very loyal. He said a lot without saying a lot. So I think people strong that character because of his honesty. What's up, Jose? What's up? What's up? What's up? Hello. Cool. Nice to see you.
And you're often described as a cult icon rather than being like a traditional leading actor. How do you personally like understand that maybe?
I remember I saw an interview with Willem Dafoe when I first started acting, and he said all I ever wanted to be was like a cult movie star, right? And I thought, wow, that's cool. And then I didn't know that would happen that way. But I did a movie with Reedus in our states. I so in love with him. And
I saw that in high school.
the craziest thing about Willem Dafoe, right? Like this crazy story. So I'm in New York, right? And it's like a Saturday afternoon, and I'm putting my key in the door, right? So I'm like this door, and I hear this moment, and I look across the street, and there's this guy like walking like this, right? And I was like, I don't know who that is. And I put the key in the door. Moment. I look around and there's one guy. And you're like, wait. And I'm like, what the heck, right? So I put the key in the door and I turn around and he goes, it's Will. And I go, what are you doing? Right? It's a Saturday, like 1 in the afternoon. And he says, I'm about to play a movie, Shadow of the Vampire. And he was about to play a vampire, so he's walking around Manhattan with people are shopping and stuff. I was just like, I love this guy. But anyway, he said that about being close. I just thought that was super cool.
Both The Walking Dead and Death Stranding connected deeply with audiences around the world, especially in Asia. Why do you think these like loner characters resonate so strongly across the world?
I don't know. I think there were times in the show, like when I knew Andrew was leaving, he told me way before he left that he was going to leave. Right? And when he left, I told the writers, I was like, please don't give me his long speeches. Like, I don't think Daryl's the type of guy that, give me a stage. I need to tell the group something. It's not like that. So, there was something that I found that connected with people about just being honest, being real, not showing that you're the hero. Like, I always told them, the writers, like, I don't mind being the hero, I just don't want to know. I think you can tell the difference. And there was a lot of people that wanted Daryl to hook up with Daryl, or Daryl to be with someone else. And then there were a lot of people that liked that Daryl was asexual. There was a lot of people that were like, thank you for that. And I thought that was really cool because they were like, I didn't want them to write me, kissing someone against the tree. You know what I mean? Like, if Daryl was going to find love, he would have to earn it, and it would last forever. Instead of, hooking up, You know what I mean? He's not like that. He doesn't trust you. And if he trusts you, then you gotta earn it. And then it's for real. You know, it's like a premium.
You mentioned that like you told the writers not to go on speak. Like, how's that communication like as an actor to popular like long-standing series? Do you guys get a lot to communicate on how to go like down your
In the beginning, I think we were all decided to do it. When we made the show out in the woods, and there wasn't Hollywood, and there wasn't agents and managers, and it was just a bunch of actors having fun, really caring about what they were. And then the show got bigger and bigger and bigger. And it was all like the way that they rated television was different because they were, you know, the numbers that night, right? And like, didn't need football. And we started, what is it, right? And then the numbers changed. The whole system changed. The cable networks, through the streaming, and then they content, right? It was kind of like subscriptions from platforms. Right? So that was all different. And then when they gave me the script, right? I had more to say. They listened to me. They told me this crazy story once. Daryl Dixon merchandise sold 100 to 1 of the whole cast combined. Okay? Which doesn't make my job any easier when the other castmates do it, you know what I mean? Or whatever, you know. So I think as I got a little more popular, I got a little more power. At least they pretended to listen to me, you know. But when we did the song, they offered Melissa and I this and then, but they hadn't actually been show yet. So I thought that we were going to go on a mission and then come back to the pilot, right? And then they canceled the show, and I knew we were going to go, but she and I were going to take her to the show. So we got to throw a storyline in his heart, you know? Wow, that's a long answer.
I mean, so much has changed with this stuff, like streaming, rating, and everything, but it's quite crazy. Like, I've tried to check out like all your interviews online, and it's crazy how you understand in terms of like, who you are, how you started, like, you know, you're still putting on the stage, you're back, you're in classes, like, you're still a great show guy. How's that? Like, how is that like, it's not very common at all.
I don't know much. I live in New York, right? So I don't know a lot of Hollywood people. I know a few, you know, like Canada, you know, Josh Brolin, but that's because I did most of it. So I don't go to like Hollywood parties. They nobody invited me to like that. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I wear like baggy, loose clothes, you know, that are supposed to be really together. But I'm just like the same guy that I was. And I have like my good friends are artists or, you know, motorcycle mechanics and stuff like that, and they don't even watch my show. They have no idea. They've never seen me with anything. You know?
That's how you stay so alive.
That's how they keep saying with no real. Yeah, they don't care. And then like, yeah, I mean I have stories like crazy. Yeah, I just like real people. Like, you know, there's a weird thing that happens to you when you look on like a person, you know, it's a show or whatever. And I see it all the time with actors and actors. Their heads get a little bigger, bigger. And I'm sure it's happened to me too at some point in my life. Probably everywhere now. You can tell, but you always meet somebody else. Like I met Christian Bale for the first time at a restaurant, and I used to see him in Costa Rica because I go to Costa Rica, and I always left him alone because he was with his family, and you know, and I'll go to a restaurant. He goes, "Hey, I see you in Costa Rica all the time. But it doesn't bother you because you're with his family." And I was like, "Yeah, same." He was so normal. He was like the normalest, coolest guy, and like, that guy's awesome.
Was he in his like muscle mode? Skinny?
Oh, he was like in normal mode. He looked like a regular guy, never, there's nothing pretentious about that guy at all. It's like, that guy's cool. Films like that. There's some people like, if you go hang out in California for 5 minutes, everybody, it's easy for people to become famous, like, with social media or whatever. And I think I come from a place of have to at least try to earn he gets up. I'm still trying to earn.
So Daryl rarely explains himself, yet audiences like understand him completely. What do silence and restraint allow you to express that first?
There's a lot you can do, right? Like when we first started out, when you have a large class, you kind of put them in a circle, and you set up the camera, and everybody has something to say. The camera goes boom, and it goes your turn to talk, your turn to talk, your turn to talk. It's forward. Right? So I used to tell my Texas students who was our statement for season 1, I became friends with him right off the bat because he's the movement in the room, right? And I'm still kind of relatively new at acting. I mean, I did some movies and stuff, but I became friends with him on purpose. And when I would say, in this scene, I'm going to go over him trying to shoot, and I'm going to look at this guy in the eye, and the guy would the movement. And after a while, that became the style of the steady camera. Because people would be like, oh man, I use you all the time. Because I tell the story by following you to a different person, following you. And it kind of, you can find ways to communicate without just saying lines. Like, I'm the worst of, like, can I cut that line? Can I cut that line? Can I say these two things together? Like, I drive people crazy. You can find ways to express yourself without saying exactly how you feel. And a lot of times, the reactions or the listening is the most important part. I had some good actors teach me that when I first started out. It's hard to just listen and look like you're really listening to someone. You have to really do it. Because a lot of times you're work with somebody and they're waiting for your last word because they're waiting to say their line. You know what I mean? And then they'll be like, oh, Norman, you didn't say your last word and I didn't know when to talk. I'm like, why don't you just listen to me? So you don't have to just play by the rules all the time. Thank you.
So that's like a very authentic and unique way of approaching it. Since like, you didn't go to the proper acting school.
I tried that once. Somebody tried to send me to an acting class when I first started, and the teacher, like the second class, was like, "Can I talk to you outside?" And he was like, "Get along." I was like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, just go do your thing, you know. And that probably wasn't the right class for me to be in. I wasn't sure. Really like doing my craft a little better. I like learning actually, so I wouldn't mind being in class.
Okay, so in gaming, especially in Death Stranding, like performance is captured like differently. So did acting for a game change how you think about personality or like emotions?
Oh my god, that was really the most pressure. I've been on a lot of video games, but one of Leo's where I hadn't done before. So you have these Velcro balls on you in this skin-tight bodysuit and helmet on your head and these cameras and like Mads. Mads and I were like supposed to like love each other with like banging these characters and we're trying to understand the story. And we had Troy Baker there. He's done video games, right? So he like, this is what that means, so he was helping us. But, yeah, it's different because I'm a very subtle guy. sometimes if you go big, it's too big for that because it's so on you. You know what I mean? Like, so I was filming in France, and I would work all week, and then take a flight Friday night to like California, and then go straight into motion capture, and then through Monday, and then Tuesday morning I'm gonna fly back to France, where I go directly from the airport to set. So I did that for like 4 years. So it was like constant, so you really have to like pay attention to what you're doing and ask a lot of questions. And I saw something about what's that actor's name? Benedict Cumberbatch? Yes. He's awesome. I saw him doing what was the cartoon he did? He played the lion. What was that? He played the lion. He was like, what? Yeah. I saw a video of him like crawling on the ground. And I'm like, oh shit, he's so good. I suck at this so bad. But then I heard that he has a camera right here, and when he's doing this, if his hands get in the way of the camera, it's not usable. So that they were like, oh, he couldn't lose a lot of that because his hands. So you learn all these lessons and these tricks. Like, I didn't know any of that stuff.
Acting is only a part of your creative growth. There's photography, motorcycles, obviously, fashion, gaming, or art. So what did those outlets give you that acting ability?
I didn't plan on being an actor. So before this, I was painting, I was in photography, I was in sculpture. I was like living in a friend's garage, like doing art shows, right? And like weird sculptures with rock and metal and stuff. And then I had a gallery in New York, and we had a 5-story building, and we called it Collective Art. It was supposed to be like an Andy Warhol factory type of jam, but in New York everything was a party and it's growing, But we had, on the ground floor we had a gallery, and then in the basement we had a special effects place that we would make like saber-toothed tigers from the Discovery Channel and stuff like that. And then we had different artists above it. And we would do group shows to pay the rent, right? But it was a great place because like I'd be like, can I use those lights? And can you grab these cameras? Can you make me a Richard Nixon mask? And then I would like get a Richard and I go make a short film. And I made all these films. So I was always into other things. As far as fashion, sometimes I get asked, like, there was a Yamamoto, I just walked in the show in Paris, I was scared. So that's kind of the way I've learned to express myself a little bit, music a bit. I just finished 2 art shows last year in Tokyo. I've got 4 books of photography out. We have a couple shows in Europe. I'm putting together the Never show right now, which is crazy. It's such a mess of a show, which is what I'm going for. Yeah, motorcycles. I leave from here. I go to Mongolia, and I ride motorcycles straight out into the desert for 7 days, right from here. So, and that's just for fun. So, I don't know, see if it breaks me, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm constantly doing things. I've always been that guy that's constantly trying to make stuff. Not even, the thing was, I used to do art shows, and I could be the quiet guy in the corner watching people look at stuff, right? And then Walking Dead happened, and then now the shows become crazy. Like the police shut the streets down, like it's nuts. But I miss those days when I was like, a fly on the wall watching people. I miss it, and it was really fun. Then a lot of times, like, you do an art show and the gallery will say, can you post about it? And I'll be like, sure, because if I post about it, it'll get proud of it, right? But it's not for me. That's the gallery. They want
Do you mind doing that, or you?
I kind of prefer. I keep trying to find ways to do it where people can look at it, and it's not a madhouse. There's times to be madhouse and times to be madhouse, but anyway, we're still trying to figure that out. I miss the days when I could just be quiet and watch people.
Being famous also like gets you out of trouble, right? You talk about like how you're riding a motorcycle somewhere and got stopped by cops.
Yeah, I was in Paris. Yeah, there's every time I pick gloves. Yeah. I forgot my gloves. Get on the sidewalk. So I was like, and got on the sidewalk and take your helmet off. And I took it off. Daryl! I was like, oof. So sometimes I get lucky. A lot of cops like me, a lot of firemen like me. I get a lot of, yo, what's up? In New York, from cops and firemen.
You've built a lifestyle that feels like very personal and unapologetic. How important is it for you to protect that creative freedom of self-development?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's important. I'm still trying to figure out what's important. I remember they gave me that star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, right? And how that works is you have to be nominated for that, and they have to agree to accept you, I guess. And then somebody sponsors you. It all happens kind of behind you, And I was so nervous about getting that because I was like, this is kind of like a graveyard, right? I was like, dead person. And I was like, oh my God. And I started to panic, right before that. And then it was a great honor to play it. And it's there forever. It made me really nervous. And I remember John Bernthal came and gave a speech. And in his speech, he said he called up Sarah Collins and she said, do you remember the first day you were performing what you said about him? And he said, yeah, I think he's allergic to acting. He's allergic to the bullshit, right? And I was like, oh, cool, that's great. So I think I'm just trying to stay level most of the time. I don't really get wrapped up in talking about it. I kind of just
Are you still the guy who has to like keep yourself like super busy because you feel like I'm a single mom, I want to keep a lot of things? Is that still your state of mind right now?
No, I kind of want to slow down a little bit. Like I just did, 16 straight years of Walking Dead, and I had the motorcycle travel show, and I did movies, what I could fit in. I think I want to chill a little bit. You know what I mean? I want to learn how to play piano or something.
So we've selected some questions for fans, and so what part of Daryl do you carry with you outside the show?
All of it. I thought about that character 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, or 16 years. And then if I had ideas about it, I pitched ideas. I would explain, we would do scenes, and then I would tell the director, I was like, I'd make a song, and I'd be like, let's do this song in the scene. It was like I had a shorthand to talking about it. So there's a lot of Daryl that I carry with me all the time. The crazy part was, a couple times, I would be working in Georgia, and then I'd come to New York, and there's so many tourists in New York, and so the sidewalks there'd be like 10 people near the sidewalk as I'm trying to walk. But in my head, I would think, okay, what's the fastest way to get through these 10 people? Grab this one by the hair, throw him down, this one into this one, kick that one in the leg. I was like, oh, whoa, I'm taking my job home with me. You know what I mean? And this friend of mine, I raced from set, and he was having dinner. And I come straight from set and I sit down and I'm like last year and I put my phone on the table and I was like, oh, you know, I have my phone and he looked at it and then real quick, I grabbed the steak knife and I stuck it in his knee. Boom! And he's sitting there with a knife in his knee. And he's like, I'm like, oh, so I was doing this all day. So you know, like sometimes I take the math home, you know.
So you've built an incredibly like loyal fan base here in Hong Kong and across Asia. What would you like to say to the audiences who've stayed with your work for so long?
You know, today, especially in the last. Today, especially in that last group, sorry I was late because there was like a lot of people all of a sudden. The signing portion of that, a lot of people in a row were like, I've been following you for 15, 16 years. Like, I grew up watching you, me and my family watching you. I mean, I can tell they were really sincere. I can tell the difference in you. And you're like, no, you know. But, like, this group was like super, like, I had to take a minute because it really touched me. Like, yeah, it was like super sweet. Like, I've been watching you this long, and you mean this to me, and I'm like, I was like, oof. I had to take a minute to go outside for a second before I got in here. Because it was like, I could tell it was beautiful. I have a real affection for the people I've met here. Very honest and real and cool. Yeah, it's super sweet. So thank you for being so kind. Yeah. Really great.
So I guess like your fans and everyone has been eyeing on this at the table. So before we go, so this is something from Hot Toys, which they've been making for a bit. And before the besides the Hot Toys production guys, the only person who has ever laid hands on it or seeing it so closely is Mr. Hideo Kojima.
Yeah.
So, as you being the man himself, so what do you think about this 1/6 figure?
This is really good. And I've seen some bad ones. This is really good. Yeah. This one's really, really good. You got my crazy hair, my beady blue eyes. Yeah, it's just like me. Yeah, this is a really good one. And the detail is really fantastic.
So make sure you get yours, and there's been pre-order, I guess, going out.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, in Hideo's office in Tokyo, he's got a crazy office. It looks like something out of a Stanley Kubrick movie. Like, it's like this giant room and the floor lights up white. Like it's just crazy. And then it goes on forever. But in the middle of the room is a giant statue like this of me. Yeah. It's like 8 feet tall. It's like a big statue. But this one looks better. The detail is really great.
So before we go, can we get someone from Hot Toys, representative Janice, to have a photo with you?
Man, this is a cool place. Hi. Can you hold it?
Yeah, let's get a photo. So time is never enough, but I guess we have to rush to.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Is there anything else you'd like to say to Hong Kong?
Yeah, you guys are lovely. Hong Kong is beautiful. Your food is great. You're all such beautiful people. Thank you for being so nice and kind. And I'm jet lagged on almost every day of my life. But thank you for putting up with me. Yeah, thank you. I love you too. Yeah. Super sweet. I will come back again. I definitely will. Yeah. Yeah, you guys are so sweet and genuine and honest and cool. And then thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah,
Thanks so much.
For sure. Yeah.
Let's give a round of applause for Mr. Norm Reedus.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Do I leave? Okay, bye. Bye. Bye guys, thank you so much. Yeah. Super sweet. Yeah. Thank you guys. Yeah, I love all of you. Super cool. Thank you. Thank you back there. Thank you.
Thank you guys. Enjoy. Home to come